Hello there, my name is Rick.
Ciao, I am Millie.
And this is episode 11
11
of season 4
4
of
Yonks Ago.
Ciao. This is Yonks Ago, coming into your ears. Now what are yonks? They're kinda like years. Just a father and a daughter who want to know all about some people from Yonks Ago. Interesting people who did interesting stuff, but about whom we don't know enough. So we're gonna dig deep and find it all out. Yonky doodlers know what we're all about. Yonks Ago, hey ho, hey, Yonks Ago, hey ho, hey, surely. Oh, gee.
That's scary.
Well, that's episode 11 off to a exciting start. We got surprised by just about anything that happens right now is a surprise to us, I'd say. We did something I don't think we've ever done before. We recorded the introduction
Pre-record.
a while ago.
Yeah.
A while ago, I mean like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Because Millie was making her lunch.
Yeah, my lunch break.
It's a Monday arvo.
Weird time, innit?
It is. And you were making your lunch. We squeezed in the introduction as you had your toast on.
Yeah.
And just to get it in the can.
Yeah.
So I could sort out the theme song.
The levels.
Which is a prime number episode, obviously.
11.
Episode 11.
I thought you were going to wait to say it together.
You can't. No way.
You just waited for me to say it.
Well, we're out of sync.
Okay.
Because of what we've done. Because of the shortcuts we've taken in this episode so far, we are going to be at loggerheads.
What's that?
It means we're not going to be able to, we're not going to be able to fit together. We're
What
just
did
going
you
to be
say it again?
loggerheads.
Loggerheads.
It's when two logs at the head of a river bump into each other. Lock it in.
Why is it loggerheads?
Because it's just easier to say than logheads. Logheads sounds lame.
Is this an actual thing or did
No,
you
I'm
make
making
it up?
stuff up. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, loggerheads is a thing. But I don't know what it means.
You made the log river.
Yeah.
Shit up. You got to start doing that because I believe you every time.
Well, good. I like to think there's a whole lot of lies and misinformation that I've given you.
Do you remember the Pinocchio headstone story that you told me?
No.
About how you told me that after you die,
Yeah.
your nose keeps growing and that's why the headstones are put there to stop the nose from breaking out of the ground. And that's where the story of Pinocchio comes from. Because his nose keeps growing or some shit like that.
Oh,
and I totally believed it.
It's a good tale. And it's a fact.
Well, because you just... Where'd you pull that out of?
I've got a lot of lies that I've just bubbling away inside of me.
I was also a child.
Yeah, I know. Perfect audience for my aggressive campaign of misinformation.
Yeah, didn't think my dad would lie to me about something like that.
Mate, I lie to you about just about everything.
Yeah, I know. I'm figuring that out now.
So parenting, most of parenting is figuring out what you can get away with lie-wise.
Yeah.
It starts with Santa and it grows from there.
Though you didn't do Santa.
I know.
Yeah. It's a perfect lie.
It's a topsy-turvy world.
You want to be original. You don't want to follow what everyone else is lying about.
I don't want to do the easy lies.
Yeah.
I want to do Pinocchio headstone lies. Man, aim for the stars.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my motto. Speaking of lies, Joan of Arc has been up against it.
Yeah, I
lies and
remember.
misinformation they are throwing them at her willy-nilly. Mm-hmm. She's obviously, when we last left her months ago, I can't remember when we last recorded. Seems like a while.
Yeah.
I can barely remember. I may have had to listen to the end of the last episode just to double check where we're up to.
That's so valid.
She's been in prison. They've been.
I mean, haven't we all? Oh.
They've been keeping her in the men's prison, which is well against standard practice.
Yes.
And she's been on trial. They thought they'd have an easy time of it, but Joan has been up to the task.
Yeah.
They've been throwing curly questions at her.
She's got the power of God on her side.
Yeah, she's been batting them away. She's been straight batting it. She's been hoiking them over the fence. She has been scoring freely. She's been bazballing this trial in a way that they were not expecting.
Exactly.
And so she's holding her own. They were like, should we resort to torture? They had a little meeting and they decided, torture's a bit much at this stage. We don't need to go that far.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know, 18, 19 years old. Let's lay off the torture for a little bit.
At least 20.
Because whatever. So what if she's answering all our questions with aplomb? We can just still find her guilty, and whatever.
Yeah.
Who's going to stop us? We're the bloody church at this
Didn't
stage.
they get like a sus jury as well?
Yeah, everyone there is stacked against her. There's no way Joan's winning this trial, no matter how well she defends
Corrupt
herself.
judge as well, right?
Everyone involved. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like an episode. It's basically the early template for that show, Jury Duty.
Yeah.
Everyone's in on it except for Joan at this stage. They're all actors. they're all in on the fake nature of this trial. And Joan's doing her best. She thinks she's delivering a great argument. She's like, I reckon I'm going to get off. And they're all like, Joan doesn't know this is a fake trial. And that she's going to be found guilty no matter what. And so obviously that turned into the modern day jury duty.
Yeah.
Much less, I guess.
They weren't contemplating torture.
No.
Yeah.
No, not physical torture. I do feel like if
of
anyone has watched
psychological-
Jury Duty, there is a bit of psychological, consequences to what they've done to that poor man.
Yeah.
They think it's all fun and games and that he'll be happy. But
No.
I think he probably is still in a bit of therapy.
I mean, we've all seen Truman Show.
Yeah. It didn't work out great for Truman. Like, I'm sure he escaped, but what then?
Exactly.
I'm
Therapy for life.
I'm still waiting for the sequel. Sorry, any Yonky Doodlers, if you haven't watched Jury Duty, it's on Prime. It's on Prime Video. Obviously, it's like the Truman Show-esque.
Spoilers. I mean, that's the whole premise. Actually,
Yeah.
we didn't spoil anything.
It's a Truman Show-esque show where one member of the jury is the only person in the entire court case who doesn't know that it's a fake reality show.
Yeah.
And they're just setting up lots of capers and gyps and japes so that lots of weird stuff happens and he has to deal with it as best he can.
Yeah.
And at the end, he finds out everyone involved in the whole time that he's been doing it was an actor. And you can see
That's going to do some damage.
during the reveal, he's got some issues. He's he's pretending all's well and good. Oh, great joke, you guys. But also, I thought we were friends.
I mean, we've seen Prey Patrol.
Yeah.
Those poor kids.
He felt like he was making real and lasting connections with people.
Yeah.
And then he's found out that those connections were based on a lie.
And he thought he was doing good work as his role as a citizen.
And
I'm on the jury. I'm doing my duty.
all for nothing.
Yeah.
In many ways, he wasted however months of his life.
Yeah.
And I don't think he will ever recover.
No.
And I don't think Joan will either, because the same thing's happening to her. But at least they're not going to torture her yet. So the trial started in January. Then in early May,
Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Cauchon, the man in charge of the trial,
Yep.
he asked the University of Paris, who are very anti-Joan, let me remind you, to deliberate on 12 articles summarising the accusations of heresy, which is what they're trying to get her on, of course. So he's given the university 12 rock solid, little essays, little treatises about how heretical.
Oh, I like that.
How heretical Joan has been. And the university approved the charges. They just rubber stamped it. They're like,
they did not read that shit.
No, they're like, no, just give us the articles and we will stamp them. On the 23rd of May, Joan was formally admonished by the court.
What's that mean?
They've gone, Joan, you're no good. Which is
Badly done.
badly done, Joan.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what the court essentially said to her. They brought her out. They said, what of it? She said, what's up? And they said, badly done,
Badly
Joan.
done.
And she said, ooh, that's about as bad as it can get.
Yeah.
I am in T-rubble. The next day, she was taken out to the churchyard of the Abbey of Saint Ouen for public condemnation.
Oh, dear.
So they're gonna get everyone to say badly done.
Yeah.
Everyone gets a crack. As Cauchon began to read Joan's sentence, she agreed to submit. She's like, I'll take it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. She's like, fine. Where do I sign?
Yeah.
She was presented with an abjuration document. So they've got a document saying, I agree that it was badly done by me. Signed, Joan.
Gotcha.
She has to sign it.
What happens if you don't sign it?
I think that's when it gets a bit nasty.
More jail?
Yeah. I think they've let her know what might happen if she doesn't sign it, and that's just like, fine, I'll sign it.
Yeah.
Which because she's been in jail she's been in the men's prison for a while now. I don't think she's been having a great time.
No.
Let me say. And at this stage, she's like, whatever needs to be done, let me do it.
Yeah.
I feel like I gave as great an argument as I could in court. Hasn't
Yeah.
worked. So my only option now is to sign the documents and have done with it. So the abjuration document included an agreement that she would not bear arms again, so she would no longer take up weapons.
Gotcha.
Not allowed to fight the fight.
What happens like if she just wants to like butter her toast?
Not allowed. Fuck. Not allowed. She could spoon a toast.
Oh yeah.
You could get butter on a toast with a spoon.
You could argue anything as a weapon though.
That's true. I guess she has to have a pretty clear document about what is or is not a weapon.
Yeah.
Anything in Joan's
she could be holding an umbrella and they could be like, weapon.
That is a weapon, especially when Joan has it.
Especially with how many people dislike her.
Yeah.
They could be like, oh, I saw Joan with a weapon.
She's allowed to hold foam. That's it.
Or just nothing, I reckon.
Yeah.
Never again.
Not allowed to pick things up.
Cut off her hands.
Sounds like torture. So she had to agree that she was not ever going to pick up anything again.
Yeah.
I think was the essence of the document.
Yeah.
Not allowed to hold anything in her hands.
Yeah.
And she was no longer allowed to wear men's clothing. They were really down on her getting dressed up in men's gear. So they're the two things. Never pick up anything. Don't dress like a man.
Yeah.
So she has, that was read aloud to her so that she understood it.
Yeah.
And she signed it. How'd she sign it? She had to pick up a pen.
Yeah.
They got her.
I mean,
I think she held it. I think she held it in her mouth.
oh yeah.
Yeah, she did the old mouth sign.
Yeah.
Which is classic Joan.
Yeah.
So look, public heresy was a capital crime. It's a big crime. In which an unrepentant or relapsed heretic could be given over to judgment of the secular courts and punished by death. So she's on that. She's been yellow carded, I think, at this stage. So having signed the abjuration, Joan was no longer an unrepentant heretic, but could be executed if convicted of relapsing into heresy. So she's been yellow carded.
Yeah.
She signed the document saying, I was a heretic, but no more.
Yeah.
And they're like, fine, but any sniff of heresy from you, Joan, don't think we won't give you another yellow card. And that is death.
So if she picks up a weapon.
Yeah. She does anything against the document, or if she relapses into heresy, she is done for.
Yeah.
So they've got her where they want her.
Yeah.
As part of her abjuration, Joan was required to renounce wearing men's clothes. As I said, she exchanged her clothes for a woman's dress and allowed her head to be shaved. Oh, she's getting fierce. She was returned to her cell and kept in chains instead of being transferred to an ecclesiastical prison. So they're still taking liberties with Joan.
Yeah.
Even though she signed the document with her mouth, they're still like, normally we would transfer you to a much nicer prison.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna.
Yeah.
You've been here for a while now. Just gonna keep you here.
Yeah. No one can be bothered.
Witnesses at the rehabilitation trial stated that Joan was subjected to mistreatment.
You're telling me.
And sexual assault attempts. She's in the trenches.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
This prison is no good for Joan.
No.
She is copping it left, right, and centre. And no one's sticking up for her.
No.
Where's King Chucky Jr.? Nowhere to be bloody seen. That's where.
He's probably sleeping or
Does
something.
not give a crap. What a schmuck.
The worst.
So she's been mistreatment, sexual assault attempts, including one by an English noble. So dudes are just coming by on tour, going, I hear you got Joan of Arc here. I might try my luck.
Yeah.
What's she going to do? She's in prison. She's got her head shaved. She's not allowed to pick up anything. I'm going to see how I go. What a horrible time for Joan right now. Cochon was notified. No, sorry, I skipped a bit. Hey, so she's in the trenches, and guards had placed men's clothes in her cell,
try and get her
trying to get her to wear them. Cochon was notified that Joan had resumed wearing male clothing because that was her only option.
Yeah,
that's all they gave her. He sent clerics to admonish her to remain in submission, but the English prevented those clerics from visiting her. So they're coming to say, look, we've heard you've been wearing men's clothing, you better stop it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even let them in to say, stop it or you're in trouble. No, the English have a plan. That's what I'm hearing.
Yep.
On the 28th of May, Cochon went to Joan's cell along with several other clerics.
Yeah.
So Kishon had to come through because none of the other clerics could get through by themselves. But
Yeah.
Kishon's got special privileges.
As he should.
As the clerics are coming, the guards are like, nah, no clerics today. And Kishon goes, oh, really? Well, I think perhaps I am allowed through. And they're like, oh, sorry, Kishon, didn't see you there. Yes, please come through. According to the trial record, Joan said that she had gone back to wearing men's clothes because it was more fitting that she dressed like a man while being held in a male prison with male guards.
Slayed.
Just like, hey, if the shoe fits.
If you're going to treat me like a man, I'm going to wear your clothes.
When in Rome, dress like a dude.
That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense. So she's still spitting out sweet arguments.
Yeah.
They can't break her. So she says it makes more sense and that the judges had broken their promise to let her go to mass and to release her from her chains.
Yeah.
She stated that if they fulfilled their promise, let her go to church, take her out of chains, maybe send her to a nicer prison where she's supposed to be, that she would indeed have no problem getting out of the men's clothes.
Yeah.
She would be obedient. When Kishon asked about her visions, however, Kishon's got a trump. Kishon knows how to get to her. Joan stated that the voices had blamed her for signing the document out of fear. So the voices have turned on Joan.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you doing, Joan? We've been with you this whole time. We were backing you up. You've signed the document because you were a scaredy cat.
Yeah.
That's not vision worthy.
That's not Joan of Arc.
You turned your back on the voices. So she feels like she betrayed the visions that had served her so well.
Yeah.
That had made her who she was. So she's feeling bad about it. So she states the voices blamed her for signing the document and that she had learned her lesson and would deny them no longer. Would never deny them again.
Yeah.
Try and make me, I won't. As Joan's abjuration document had required her to deny her visions because it's a sign of heresy, this was sufficient to convict her of relapsing into heresy.
Shit.
And to condemn her to death.
Whoa. Oh, dear.
The next day, 42 assessors.
42?
42 of them.
Meaning of life.
Yeah, they were summoned to decide Joan's fate.
That's quite specific. 42.
Got to have 42. Any less is doesn't carry any gravitas.
It's 41.
Any more is just too many assessors.
Yeah.
They don't fit in. They don't fit in the cell. Gets too packed. So in they cram, all 42 of them. Two of them recommended that she be abandoned to the secular courts immediately, which I think is not a good. I think that's the secular courts are the ones who will be like, "Yep, kill it."
Yeah.
So two of them are like, "Yep, get rid of her." Whereas the rest recommended that the abjuration be read to her again and explained.
Yeah.
Like maybe she doesn't understand.
Yeah.
She's a peasant girl after all. But in the end, they voted unanimously, after talking the talk, that Joan was a relapsed heretic and should be abandoned to the secular power, which is the English.
Dang, so it was 2 against 40.
Yeah, and they turned around. I think
it's like 12 angry men.
I think the two were the alphas.
Yeah.
They're like, guys,
I got your family hostage.
Yeah. Do we want to revote? I think we want to revote.
Yeah.
And we'll see who's on our side now. So they vote. So they're going to turn them over to essentially the English, who we know are not pro.
They're her biggest fan. What are you talking about?
They're as anti-Joan as you can get. For punishment. So look out, Joan. So she's 19 years of age, our Joan.
Oh, so am I.
It's the 30th of May, 1431. 30th of May, 1431. In the morning, she was allowed, on the morning of the 30th of May, 1431, she was allowed to receive sacraments. Despite court processes requiring that they be denied to heretics. So she's still getting away with a little bit. They have mistreated her terribly. So a little bit of sacrament's not going to... well done them. Right. Then she was taken to Rouen old marketplace, where she was publicly read her sentence of condemnation. At this point,
She should have been turned over to the appropriate authorities. Was she? I doubt it. Of course not. That's bloody nonsense. Nothing about this trial has gone to plan. The bailiff, so the appropriate authority was the bailiff of Rouen. He was supposed to deliver secular sentencing, but instead she was delivered directly to the English and tied to a tall plastered pillar for execution by burning.
Oh,
Gonna
not
set
the
that,
burning.
Gonna set that gal alight.
What would be your preferred form of execution if you had to be executed?
Something quick.
Like chop off the head?
Probably
Guillotine?
I always felt like the lethal injection would be a peaceful way to go, but it's probably not. I'm sure they've worked it out, so it's a excruciatingly painful way to go, but no one knows it because they don't have time to tell anyone. They're like, oh, I've made a terrible mistake. This is actually the worst thing that's ever happened. Oh my God, the internal pain that I'm experiencing. My veins are on fire. I wish I'd never chosen this. I should have been bloody beheaded like an old French aristocrat. Curse this lethal injection. But in my mind, it's a peaceful way to go.
Yeah. Just like Socrates.
Yeah.
That's how he went.
Lethal injection.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or like some poison.
Yeah, poison.
Yeah, he drank something.
Yeah. Anyway, what about you?
I don't know. Probably the same.
So she's tied to a pillar.
Just anything but the fire. I'm not getting burnt alive.
Fire ain't no good.
No.
Yeah, that is a long, drawn-out, excruciating
what was
effort.
the one that they did to the witches? Drown them? And if they got out, then they were a witch and they kill them?
Yeah.
So it's like death or death?
Death or death.
Yeah. Well, they got those witches, bro.
Which is going to get it.
Yeah, I don't want to get drowned.
No. That'd be... I would choose drowning over fire.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Me as well. But I still wouldn't want...
No.
Yeah.
Neither if possible. Please. Yes, please.
I think they're at the bottom of the list.
My track record of heresy is very minimal.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I've always suspected.
And if I got, if I had to sign my abjuration document, I'd be pretty good at not relapsing, I reckon.
Do you reckon?
Although,
what if you were being sent to that prison and then someone asked about your visions and you're so tired and you're just like, oh, my visions,
yeah.
And then they, what?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they could get me.
And then they don't let the clerics come see you.
You're right. If I got Joan of Arc, what would I do?
Exactly.
I'd just have to cop it, I guess.
It's like they're playing a game of chess, but she only had pawns.
Yeah, that's right. She had very few pieces to play with. In many ways, they really drew it out longer than they needed to. If their whole end game was just to get rid of her, just get it, have done with.
Yeah.
It's not like they followed due process anyway. That was such a sham trial. Anyway, so she's tied to the pillar. She asked to view a cross as she died, and she was given one by an English soldier made from a stick.
He just whittled it.
He just whittled one quickly.
I thought you'd never ask. I've been practicing.
I've been working on this one. Oh, here you go. Can I have it back after you burn?
Yeah.
Oh, it'll probably burn with you.
Yeah.
I'll try to grab it just before it goes up. So good on that English soldier. Gave her a little pity stick.
Yeah.
Which she kissed and placed next to her chest.
Oh.
A processional crucifix was fetched from the church of Saint Sevier. She embraced it before her hands were bound, and it was held before her eyes during her execution.
So is she going like Jesus?
Pardon?
Is she going like Jesus?
No, she's tied to a pillar, but she's
facing.
looking at a cross.
Gotcha.
She's holding a little stick cross that the English soldier made.
Yeah.
Whose name definitely started with J, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Jeremiah. Too like J Metz.
I'm guessing it's probably James.
Yeah, James.
Yeah. It's a good English name.
Yeah.
Everyone calls him Jamie though. Oh, Jamie. He's made his little sticks. He's always whittling. Always whittling out there. And his parents were so sad when he got called up to the army.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we going to do without Jamie? Whittling his little things in the yard. Oh, Jamie will miss you. Oh, pet. Look after yourself, will you, pet?
They're Irish.
No, I think they're from the north.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I never know what my accents are. I feel like it's... I'm going into my best Pam airs, I think.
It's giving a Hagrid a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, Jamie, look after yourself. And if anyone needs a cross, you whittle one for me. Won't you, Jamie? Of course I will, Ma. Of course I will. So, of course, Jamie's done his best to help, and someone's gone and fetched a big cross from the church so she could look at one. So they, now that they know they're getting what they want, a dead Joan, they're being real nice.
Yeah.
What else do you want? What else would you like? She's like, could someone put water on this fire? She's like, sure. Wait a minute. So she's all tied up. She's holding a cross, looking at the cross, and then she's burned alive. After her death, her remains were thrown into the river Seine.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Yeah, nice. Bit unhygienic. Someone down the river probably drank her not long after.
True.
But then they're like, I'm having visions. I'm feeling powerful. I reckon someone could drop a rock on my head, I'd be fine. So look, our Joan of Arc is dead. I can't paint her. There's no comebacks.
No more alive.
She's been burnt alive. She experienced one brief moment of kindness crosswise before she died, but let's not sugarcoat it. No. The lead up to her death was a non-stop litany of horrors.
It's true.
She was having the worst time you can probably have.
Yeah, it didn't sound good, did it?
Wouldn't wish it on anyone. But she bore it. She'd done all she could for France.
Yeah.
She felt like she probably felt like France turned their back on her towards the end.
I think they probably did.
She got the crown on King Chucky Jr. And then he would have nothing more to do with her.
Yeah.
She won battle after battle, and as soon as she lost like one battle because she was sabotaged by King Chucky Jr., no one wanted to work with her anymore.
No. Her friends died.
Yeah, all her OG squad got decimated.
Tell you who's still kicking though?
Who?
What's his name?
Bertrand de Boulanger?
No. The annoying little. The dumber. That's not a word. The dummy.
Yeah, Jeremy. Was it Jeremy Jones? Johns? No,
Jeremy.
I feel like it was Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Yeah, it was Jer.
What was Jay Metz?
Jay Metz was
What was his J name?
Who knows?
I don't remember.
Who knows?
You're gonna have to go back and listen.
It's unimportant. It's irrelevant. He was and always will be Jay Metz.
Rest in peace, Jay Metz. But her family was going pretty well, weren't they?
Yeah. They
got
made out like bandits. They got promoted to the nobility because King Jackie Jr. was feeling bad and wanted to throw Joan a bone, a Joan bone, and she had her visions and her voices that had escalated her to greatness, and in the end she felt like she had betrayed the voices by signing the document because she was so physically and emotionally and spiritually broken by the torment she'd experienced that she just wanted some relief, and that probably caused her more pain than anything, the fact that she turned her back on her voices, and so she vowed never to do it again, and that brought about her execution.
It's true.
What a tangled web she found herself caught in. But what we will do is we'll look at, I think we've got one more episode of Joan of Arc in us, where we look at the aftermath and implications of Joan's death. So we find out what happened in the aftermath.
I'm excited.
Of the, even as the embers were being scattered by the breeze, what happened to France?
Yeah.
We will find out in what may be the final episode of this season 4, depending on how long we waffle on.
Yeah.
But also, who knows when we will record that episode? It could be in the year 2025.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't know. We like to keep you on your toes.
That's right. But shout out to anyone who started listening to this whole season in like 2026, and was like,
shout out to you.
Made no difference to me how long you took between episodes because I binged every episode and it was a cracker. And it was amazing how much you matured between episodes sometimes. One time,
it felt like years.
One time Millie was a sprightly 19-year-old. The next it seemed like she was 30 years old. You know why? Because she probably was.
Do you have any thoughts about who we're going to do next season?
Oh, I was thinking we could probably discuss that more in our next episode. No, we'll definitely discuss it on air.
I don't know. I thought you wanted to be surprised.
No, the Yonky Doodlers need to know. But what do you? I guess we need to make our decisions.
I feel like we got to get away from France.
Oh yeah, we've had a bit of France input. it's treated us well.
Even Don Bradman went over there.
I think, we'll pick someone completely unrelated to France, and part of their story will be
They'll get in there.
popped over to France, met Nancy Wake.
Also, fluent in French.
Love French. So anyway, look, man, and if that's the case, so be it. But look, all these decisions will be made at some point in the future.
Whoa.
But do not miss out on the next episode of
Yonks Ago!
Thank you and good night.